Let me ask you a question. What if I told you that you're already dying? That the countdown began the day you were born? And every second that slips through your fingers is a second you'll never see again. So why are you wasting time like you have 1,000 lifetimes left? Why are you scrolling, drifting, delaying, as if death is something that only happens to other people? The Stoics had a name for this uncomfortable truth. They called it Memento Mori. Remember, you must die, not to scare you, but to wake you up. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will never look at your time the same way again, and you'll understand why death, paradoxically, might be the most powerful motivator in life. Drop a comment. What would you do differently if you had 1 year left to live? Part 1. The Lie of Infinite Time. We live under a grand illusion, the illusion that we have time. We say someday as if it's a promise, when in reality, it's a fantasy. Seneca, the Roman Stoic philosopher, wrote in his brilliant essay on the shortness of life, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Think about that. We don't suffer from a lack of time, we suffer from the abuse of it. We waste hours every day on distractions that don't matter. We hold grudges, chase shallow pleasures, procrastinate our purpose. We live as if we'll be given a warning before the end comes, but we won't. Death doesn't send an invitation. It doesn't wait for us to finish our plans, build our careers, or fix our relationships. It arrives like a thief in the night, and when it does, it doesn't care how busy you were. Part 2. Memento Mori. Remember, you must die. Memento Mori is not just a phrase. It is a commandment, a whisper from the grave that reminds us, you are mortal. You are not entitled to tomorrow. You are not owed more time. The Stoics didn't see this as morbid. They saw it as clarity, as a compass for how to live. Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor and Stoic, wrote in Meditations, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." He didn't say this to depress us. He said it to liberate us, to free us from the illusion that we can afford to waste even a moment. When you accept death, not as an abstract concept, but as a real and ever-present companion, you begin to live deliberately. You stop giving your energy to gossip, comparison, and petty anger. You stop delaying the pursuit of what truly matters. You stop existing and start living. Part 3. The wake-up call. We refuse to hear. We bury death in the corners of our minds. We keep it out of sight, out of conversation, like a taboo. But it's always there. Every time someone dies unexpectedly, every time someone young is taken before their prime, every funeral, every obituary, every moment of silence, it's all pointing to one thing. This ends. We just pretend it doesn't. Ask yourself, how many of your dreams have you put off? How many people do you love but haven't told? How many days have you gone through numb, drifting, unconscious? You weren't born for this. You were born with a fire in your soul, a purpose, a gift. And the cruel truth is, most people will die with their music still inside them. Don't let that be you. Part 4. The freedom in facing death. Here's the paradox. When you embrace death, you are no longer afraid of it. When you stop fearing the end, you stop fearing life. The Stoics didn't run from the thought of death. They made it their ally. Epictetus, once a slave who rose to become one of Stoicism's greatest teachers, said, "I cannot escape death, but at least I can escape the fear of it." This is the essence of Stoicism. Control what you can. You cannot control how or when you die, but you can control how you live until then. You can meet life with virtue, with courage, with discipline. You can treat each day as a sacred opportunity, because that's what it is. Part 5. What are you really doing with your time? Let's talk practically. What does Memento Mori look like in daily life? It means you say no to distraction and yes to focus. You stop chasing approval and start building character. You stop putting off the book, the business, the love, the apology. You stop complaining about the things outside your control, and you start owning your decisions like your time depends on it, because it does. Every scroll, every pointless argument, every hour you spend numbing your mind, you are trading it for life itself. Would you spend a day of your life on the Onkra if it was your last? Because it might be. Part 6. The unseen cost of wasting time. The cost of wasted time isn't visible until it's too late. You don't feel the weight of a wasted year until you're staring in the mirror, wondering where your energy, your potential, and your youth went. You don't feel the pain of an unlived life until you're old enough to realize how little time you ever had. Comment below. What's one thing you're going to stop wasting time on starting today? If this message stirred something in you, share this with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, you could leave life at any moment. Let that determine not only how you live, but who you become. You were not born to drift, you were born to rise. Memento Mori.